So I'm gonna go ahead, and I think that you'll co-sign this with me, and gotta give it to Tyrese, bro. Like Tyrese Halliburton, for the fact that he gutted that game and to even play in Game 7, right?
What's up, RBA fan? Welcome to the Think RBA Podcast with real ballers adjust. And on today's episode, we are going heavy on the NBA. We're talking NBA Finals. We're talking draft. We're talking player movements. We're talking contracts. We're talking guys getting paid, not getting paid. What's going on? We're talking all that. So while we're here, go into the comments and let us know who were the draft's biggest winners and biggest losers. And if you're new here, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you get all the latest and greatest content. Sir, where do you want to start?
All right, bro. So I think that we got to start and just put a cap. You know, is that what they say? The cap? Well, not that kind of cap. The kids talk about a different kind of cap than the kids talk about, like, you know, old school, right? We used to put a cap on that, or put a what do they say in the business world? Put a pin in it. Like, we got to bring to
Put a bow on
conclusion. Put a bow. Now you're really showing your age, bro. The NBA Finals, right? So obviously, last episode we recorded on Sunday. We just couldn't record, you know, after the game was over. So, you know, obviously we're here, you know, being able to react to it, you know, a week or so removed. Now emotions have died down from the, you know, from the instant emotions that came up, I guess, during, you know, the OKC taking the championship. You know, great series.
Great series.
So I just wanted to see what your reactions were. I know what we discussed in text message in the aftermath, but again, now we're days removed from that.
Sure.
So where are you now in terms of the whole OKC championship and all the narratives and everything that we've heard around there since?
Before I get to that, I do want to say my heartfelt condolences to Tyrese Halliburton and the injury that he suffered, which was tragic and it was terrible. That is probably the worst way and the worst possible position and time to go out the way he did. Again, it's something just you can't control that. I mean, I guess you could have, but again, it's the stage, right? It's the moment. You want to be part of that at the risk of whatever happened, right? I hope he has a recovery. He has a great recovery. He comes back sooner than expected, and he's again playing at the level he was playing at. With that being said, OKC, to me, bro, you know what they say, like made the best man win, and they won. It was Game 7. They showed up and they handled business. Again, just because Tyrese went out doesn't mean that Pacers can't win. They've done it without him before. So Shea showed up. He showed up like the MVP he is, and he took over, and that team rallied and made a run. And in the end, they didn't, as my son would say, blunder. A lot of teams blunder at the end. Pacers have this thing about coming back. This time, you know, the 7th time around, it didn't happen that way, and they made the best man win. And congratulations to the Thunder for the first time ever in the franchise history doing what KD, Russ, and Harden couldn't do, and bringing a championship to that team and that city. And so congratulations to that fan base and the organization. And I guess the formula is you save 300 draft picks for many years and build a winning team around that. I guess. But yeah, that's my take on the Thunder.
Yeah, I think you just gotta, I think the moral of the story is you trade away Paul George and then you rebuild your franchise into a finals contender, right? I mean, who's next? Clippers?
So do we send a complimentary ring to Paul George? Whether the Pacers won or the Thunder won either.
Okay, so first I gotta second everything you said about Tyrese. The injury gutted completely. The moment that it happened, I was just like, oh, this sucks. And I'm gonna get into that here in a bit. So all the flowers to him because he knew what he was getting himself into and he laid down on the line. I'm not going to harp that point. So second, everything that you said on that. I know we got a lot of things to talk about, so I don't want to digress too much today. Yes, I'm going to give OKC their flowers. I think some of the narratives are very interesting, and I think probably at some point in time we can revisit and start to debate a little bit in more detail, in regards to how they win. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, all that matters and all that will go down in history is that they won. So I think in all of it, I'm actually most happy for Sam Presti. Like, that's crazy. But I'm most happy for Sam Presti, who, you know, put together the original Thunder team, right? With with Russ and KD and Harden. And then they all leave. And, you know, he kind of had this time of not a whole lot of success, even up to just a couple of years ago, but strategically put moves together to get assets. And then but anybody can really do that. I mean, some of the moves are pretty shrewd, but you can gather assets. But then, especially when they're draft picks, like, you have to hit on those draft picks too, right? You have to hit on Jalen. You have to hit on some of the other guys that you drafted. Obviously not Chet, like, that's an easy one. But, like, you know, Jalen Williams was not an easy draft pick, like a surefire all-star. No, like, they had to hit on that and develop him. Other guys that they, you know, depth guys or whatever. So I was kind of like, okay, well, you know, this is almost vindication in a sense for Sam Presti. So I was definitely happy for him. And, you know, for the Pacers, it was like, man, I feel for them to get so close. I know what it's like to get so close and come up just short. You know, I've been there.
Are you hinting at a certain...
We're not talking about it. Just saying I can relate. So yeah, I mean, regardless of what you think about some of the narratives, the shade, the flop-in, the free throw merchant, whatever, like, at the end of the day, you know, they did their thing. They did exactly what they needed to do. They took home the W. They took over. It took home the win, whatever, the trophies, and they're going to go down the history books. But the one thing I wanted to point out to you, and I don't know if this is going to be a new thing moving forward, because, you know, this Thunder team is the second youngest team ever, right, to win. They didn't know how to open the champagne bottles, bro. In the post, you know, thing, like, and that was becoming another narrative out of this, was like, are they even happy to win? Because they left, like, all this, you know, like, traditionally you empty out the locker room, right? All the alcohol, the champagne, everybody's partying, and you know, to them it's kind of like, it's like another, we won the championship, right? There's a lot of comparisons between other teams in other sports and also NBA past years and how people celebrated versus how they celebrated. Is that a new age thing?
I don't see anything wrong with it, because I can tell you right now, I don't know how to open a champagne bottle.
Right.
So I love it. I love hearing that. I don't drink. I'm not a consumer of alcohol. So for that reason, I don't need to ever learn how to open a champagne bottle.
But that's different. That's a little different. This is like, none of them knew how to open a bottle. Like, and I guarantee you some of them, if not all of them, drank.
You know why? Because they get bottles opened for them. That's why.
Anyway, so I just thought that was a fun little fact. But now shout out to them.
No, I was awesome, man. The other thing though, I was really happy about this finals, especially this finals, out of any of the finals, recent history. This is one of the most defensive-minded, defensive-oriented finals that you saw grit and grind all the way through from both teams. When they say defense wins championships, right? This was it. This literally was it. And I really hope this continues. And that's what I really want to congratulate, you know, OKC on. Like, they built a core, like, especially like Alex Caruso. He's a two-time winner. We forget he won in the bubble, right? So this guy stays quiet. He goes about his business. He handles business. And he's one of those, like, very, very impactful players, but behind the scenes almost. You don't even realize he's there until he's there, right? And that's kind of like what I was so happy to see. These guys getting their shine and love for playing a side of the ball that's not really glorified or talked much about. So I was really happy to see that side of basketball was getting the love that it should deserve. So
100%. So are the Thunder the favorites automatically next year?
No, I can't say that. I mean, a lot of cards have to go your way, like, you know, injuries and stuff like that. So it's hard to say that. Too early predictions. I will say they are definitely in the top three runnings, right, to make it to that point. I won't say they're the automatic favorites, because there's guys who can come back and getting more experience under their belt, like Wemby. Spurs just got stronger. I know we're going to move to the draft, so you never know.
All right, we'll revisit this after a few, like, free agency, and there's been a few moves, and let's see who's going to enter the season as the presumable favorite.
Right.
So, all right, moving on to the NBA draft. That was quick.
Can I say though, real quick? Every prediction your boy made came true. Every prediction, as far as OKC winning the whole thing, Shea getting league MVP, Shea getting Finals MVP. That's the trifecta. Mic drop. Next topic, sir. Exactly. Yeah, that's the sign of a guy who just took 3 straight L's.
I'm the last person to predict shit. So, all right, NBA draft. That was fast. Like it came right off the heels of the finals. I forgot how quickly the NBA draft comes around. So obviously, like the big news, the big hype around the draft is the prize number 1 pick. The fact that the Mavs even got it in the first place was crazy.
Well, it's not.
Well, I mean, yeah, because you can say it's rigged. I know.
Nothing wrong. It's not. Why are you surprised? You have to make up for the loss that you just suffered. I mean, it's automatic.
So I did see something where somebody was, I forget which clip I was watching, but it was an analyst talking about Nico Harrison, right? The same Nico Harrison that said he didn't understand or know how important Luka was to the franchise. But basically saying like I think Nico's comment was, well, fortune favors the bold. And whoever it was going off talking like, so you're saying that you trading away Luka somehow made you bold and bold enough that fortune or karma, whatever, got you the first pick? They're like, what about Kyrie's injury? That helped to contribute to some of those losses, that helped contribute to how many ping pong balls you were going to get.
You know what that means? What that statement to me means when I hear that? I just had a call with Adam Silver. We'll be fine. That's what that means to me.
What it means to me is that the Mavs GM is delusional. And then this person was like, they were at the end of the rant, they closed it with the fact that they were mad that he's getting rewarded with Cooper Flag in the first place. But anyway, fortune favors the bold. Cooper Flag, obviously first pick, no drama there. The real drama probably didn't even start. Second pick, Dylan Harper to San Antonio. The real drama was on the third pick and beyond, right? Because arguably the second best player in the draft was Ace Bailey, right? And that's a big thing I want to talk about here, because Ace Bailey, he was as big of a story, if not a bigger story, in my opinion, going into the draft as Cooper Flag, and he was definitely the biggest story coming out, right? And so Ace Bailey, who went to Rutgers, played with Dylan Harper, who, by the way, like the two of y'all at Rutgers, and y'all won like 15 games and didn't make the tournament, didn't do shit. Like two top picks.
Surprised?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying, they're top picks, quality. But I don't know what's going on up in your state, Jersey or Rutgers. Like,
hey, you and I both familiar with those territories.
It's basically like they should have been the top 2 of the top 3 picks.
Right.
And barely won. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So Ace Bailey did not work out for teams. Did not, very clear, like he did very, very few select places he wanted to go. I know DC was one for some reason. I forget what the other one. But then he flat out told other teams, do not draft me. This is the same shit, by the way, that Tyrese Halliburton pulled, why I didn't like him. Because he told Atlanta and he told other teams, don't draft me. I don't want to go there, right? And I understood some of his reasoning was like, he didn't want to go play in Atlanta. Like, they got Trey. Like, I'm not...
Backup point guard.
Right. Like, they're both 10, 12 assists a game guys. You're not going to do that well with 2 of them on your roster. So that would have to give. But either way, like, he's going around telling teams, I don't want you to draft me, whatever. Ends up getting drafted by of all teams, the Utah Jazz. Like, first reaction is like, what the fuck is he going to do in Utah?
I mean, from what I heard, though, it's probably the best fit for him. You get to play.
You do get to play.
You get to play a lot. So where else would you want to go? Either you want to go to a really, really good team where you get to learn from championship star veterans, or you want to go to a team where you actually get to showcase your talent on a nightly basis, right? You don't want to be in the middle where you're not just kind of teetering back and forth. Like, I don't know where my role is. Why am I here? What am I doing? You don't fully get to develop. So I'm not a fan of what he did, though. I'm not a fan of players doing that.
Let's not get too deep into that yet.
Okay.
Because we're gonna get there.
Okay.
But also to counterpoint you, it's Utah. Like it's you. No. Nothing to be said. No counter.
No, there is a.
It's Utah.
There is a counter. You are signing up for the NBA, right? And this is your dream. You wanted to make it to the league, and if this is your chance to make it to the league,
I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about it's Utah.
That's
not. No.
We got some Utah shade.
This is a counter.
Utah shade.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So
What did Utah do to you?
Utah. Like, if you were going to go to an NBA purgatory, where would it be? It would be Utah. It would be Utah.
I thought that was the Wizards.
But, like, at least there's things to do in DC.
Okay, got it.
What's he going to do outside of...
Like, Portland is nice, right?
Yeah, outside of...
Like, the Utah... I mean, the Grand Canyon-ish type place? I don't know. Okay.
So, saying that, before we get deep into the conversation, there was another story that came out just kind of surrounding that whole thing. So obviously he didn't want to go there, was trying to force his way to another team. What I heard was that you had Charlotte picking 4, Jazz picking 5, and Wizards picking 6, right? And so Charlotte did not want Ace Bailey. The Wizards supposedly did. The Hornets wanted Knoepel. He was one of the Duke players with Cooper Flag. So basically, they had agreed to this trade. Like, Charlotte would take Ace, and then the Wizards would take Knoepel, and they trade them later, right? With just Utah in between picking somebody else. So apparently, Danny Ainge, who him and his son are running the Jazz, got wind of it, right, and said, "You know what? Hold my beer. Let me be great." And put it out like, if that happens, we're taking Knoepel, right? So then Charlotte was like, well, we're going to have to back out of this trade because we want to get our guy. We got to get him here. We can't risk that Utah's going to take him and then he's not available when the Wizards pick. So they he kind of finessed him a little bit.
He did.
And then took Ace Bailey instead. So just one of the little interesting little like tidbits that come from the draft. I like hearing that kind of like insider stuff where you're like, damn, like that's real strategy to like mess around with another franchise. And who knows, like maybe they were really targeting him. I don't know, but hey, you got to play chess sometimes.
But you read my mind. I was about to say the draft for any sport, right? Any sport is the ultimate chess match. It is the ultimate chess match and a battle of wits. And then that's where you see the grandmasters of Presti come out and handle their business the way they do.
We're going to talk about some more here in a little bit. But I wanted to ask you, just getting back to this whole situation of like kids coming out, now you're trying to pick which teams draft you or don't draft you. And you've got to balance, talent and skill with attitude, with personality, with fit, like all of that kind of stuff, which has always been there, but it seems like it's a little bit more challenging now, especially in this era, and the NIL era, the, look at me era and all of that comes with it. So, I was just sitting back reflecting on like the dichotomy of drafting a guy like Cooper Flag versus Ace Bailey, who arguably are equally as talented, right? Skilled wise, or very, very close, right? And do you pass on, like, so for example, if you're Danny Ainge, right, and or it could be any kid, not just Ace Bailey, but you've got this kid, like, I'm not going to work out with you. I don't want to be as part of your franchise. Are you drafting him?
I guess it depends what I need as an organization or what I feel I can do with him, right? Because even if not, we can try to get rid of him for future picks, whatever it is, whatever package you can build for him, right? If he's that level of a player, that caliber of potential, sure. But again, it just depends where you are and that, like the way you finessed him.
So, but let's think about it in the context of the Jazz, right? Like they really don't have a franchise guy.
No.
They have Lauri Markkanen, they got John Collins, they got Sexton, but like, so if you're drafting this kid this high, he's coming and with the talent and skill that he has, I mean, he's coming in like a Jalen Green.
Sure.
Right. So, but then the question is like, so for me, it's a no. It's absolutely no. Absolutely not. Like, even if I could trade, like, even trading him away later is problematic because the other GMs know he don't want to be there. He don't want it. So, like, I'm gonna lowball the shit out of you.
Sure.
Right? Because you have the problem of trying to get him, his attitude, his whatever. By the way, I don't know if you've seen the clips of his agent, but like probably it makes a lot of sense why we're in the situation we're in. Which, by the way, I think as of today, he finally made it to Utah. Like he didn't fly. Like they had 2 first-round picks. Walter Clayton from Florida, the defending champs. He didn't board that plane with the other first-round pick, right? And so like apparently finally made it and landed in Utah earlier today. But still, even that is like, bro, like. You're the guy, right? So if it were me, like I get it. Okay, this might not have been my preferred destination, But if I'm the guy, let me go there. You know what it kind of reminds me of in a much, much, much smaller example. Like, I still remember when Matt Ryan was drafted by the Falcons. Now, mind you, we had the third pick. We're coming off of Mike Vick. You know, he's in jail. The whole dog ring, whatever. Our coach that we hired from college, right, the season before, quit in the middle of the season. When he quit, he didn't tell the team. He just dropped notes in their lockers and left, like in the middle of the season, unheard of, right? So when I say we were a franchise in dismay, like disarray, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah. So when Matt was drafted, like, I remember just watching him go on stage to get his jersey, whatever. And, you know, they had brought in a new coach, new GM. So it was supposed to be a turning point, new thing. But I could just, like, there was something, and I don't know, if I ever get a chance to ask him, I want to ask him. But, like, it just felt in that moment as I was watching him with the smile, like, he's just like, oh, shit, I got to go to Atlanta. Like, that's how it felt to me. Right. And I didn't blame him either. I was like, I get it, bro. Like, this is not an ideal situation you're walking into. Like, this franchise has been through some things in the last 18 months. But he then turned it around and made it, you know, he won Rookie of the Year. Like, he won the starting job, which back then, for a rookie to start, like, unheard of, to start week one. Started, first play, touchdown, Rookie of the Year. Like, he made that team his team. He made that city his city. I don't know that the same thing's gonna happen here. And so I say that to say, if I were doing it, I'm not drafting a kid who tells me I do not want to work here, because you're not gonna. I don't believe that you will be committed enough to do the things you need to do. And even if you do come around, I'm always going to have it in the back of my mind. Is he only doing this to further himself to go somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to be here, that's always been my thing. If you don't want to be here, you don't got to be here. Don't got to be here. And I wouldn't draft somebody who doesn't want to be there. Just wouldn't do it.
Right. So, and I 1000% agree with you, bro. Right. When I'm talking about from that organization, if Danny Ainge feels like he can do that and bring this kid on board and get him to buy in, power to Danny Ainge. For me personally, every ditto. Right? I'm not trying to. I don't need those problems. I want someone who wants to be, who's gonna buy in day one, and I don't have to entice or encourage or motivate to be here, because a disgruntled employee coming in the door is going to be a disgruntled employee throughout the course of this. And then let's say you gradually, you know, you start performing, and the fans start loving you, and eventually you're helping the team win, right? We're still gonna remember, like you said in the back of my mind, like, you didn't want to be here. And like you said, is this an exit strategy? Knowing in the back of my head, I'm preparing myself for that big payday, or that big sign up wherever I'm trying to go. Who knows, you're working some back channels to get some moves happening. And if that and the representation that he has, if you're telling me if that's the kind of representation he has, I don't need those problems either as an organization. It's enough that this kid's already like that. The guy that's feeding him all this information, it's even worse. Plus all the other extra baggage he brings with me. And God knows what else he's gonna do when he's here that I'm gonna have to clean up behind. I don't need all that, right? And this is why, like, when Lonzo was coming up, great player, but do I want his dad's baggage that he was bringing with him with all that drama? And remember when he came into the league first game, Pat Bev targeted him. He was being targeted. So that's why I completely get it, bro. So for me personally, hey, you don't want to be here? Great. But pass you along to the next guy, because there is no guarantee you're going to be great. That's up to you. And I don't need to figure out, or I don't need to sit here and try to help you be great if you don't want to be great here. So go apply where you want to be, right? We should all be happy in our work situations, but you're in a situation, bro, where your dream was to make it to the league. So for me, this is what he did was the most non-RBA thing ever. And what you described to me about Matt Ryan is the most RBA thing ever. These are the cards I was dealt. You know what? I'm gonna make the best out of it. And I'm gonna succeed, and I'm gonna turn this whole thing around and be responsible for that turnaround. And this city's gonna love me and forever, right? I could walk into Atlanta any day as Matt Ryan, and I'll get the love that I deserve.
No, I'm in full agreement with that, especially the RBA piece. I think to me there's a little ego that had to have come in there with Danny Ainge to make that pick, but to each their own. And then on the flip side, the dichotomy, you've got Cooper Flagg, who did board that plane, did take that jet, that PJ private jet to the Mavs, and then finished up his press conference, and then went and they were doing a youth clinic in the facility. Went down and started doing a youth clinic with the kids. I was like, bro, like, again, so you get into, even if he wasn't the number one pick and he was like a 20th or 25th or whatever, like, give me that and give me the attitude, the professionalism, and everything else over the talent all day, and we can work around that. So time will tell how things are going to work out with all of that.
Bro, all I know is that you get what you give, right? If that's the energy you come in with, what do you think you're going to get back?
Well, time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right, last thing on the draft before we put a bow on it. Winners and losers, right? We've asked y'all to jump into comments. Yeah. Let's go ahead and give our winners and losers. So I'll let you go first. Mine are kind of tied together, so I got one answer for both.
Okay, so I'll go.
So I'll let you go.
I'll do my winner, and then you can do both, and I'll do my loser. So for my winner, yes, the obvious, we know the Mavs is one of them. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do an obvious pick. I'm going to go with the Spurs, right? That squad, I know what yours is, bro. We know Atlanta. I know they're in the mix and all that. But the Spurs, for me, I think are going to take a big jump this coming season, assuming everyone stays healthy, right? Wemby got out. He went out with a blood clot last year. Unfortunate. So assuming they stay healthy, that squad coming in the West, I'm looking at a playoff run, not first round, past the first round. Second, maybe even after that, depending how they gel together. So that's my winner.
I just made that face because they had the second pick. So of course.
There's still moves that need to happen, right?
Like you get the alien, then you get Stephon Castle, now you get Dylan Harper. Which is, by the way, is crazy. Is did you see that his contract, his rookie contract, is more than his dad's career earnings?
Wow.
But anyway.
That's most NBA players with their parents.
Yeah. And then, of course, his mom stole the show at the draft, but we won't talk about that.
And De'Aaron Fox, also on that squad.
With me, I mean.
For now.
I mean, that's a lot of guards that you got right there.
Correct.
So, for me, that one was easy. But, yeah, you know where I'm going because you know me. You know me well, but let's just be real. Like the Hawks don't usually come out of a draft listed as a winner, and like globally. And we just got a new GM, right? So this is all new. Like, and I know we're gonna talk about things later with the trade and everything. So these things happen within like consecutive hours, a day or so of each other. And I'm like, oh, this is a new Hawks team because this was not happening for the last 2 years or so. There were not aggressive moves made. There were not spending that was like, it was just like, we're going to be in NBA purgatory for a long time. So first of all, they traded one of the first round. They had 2 first round picks. They traded the 22nd pick as part of the trade for Porzingis. So we're going to get into trades later, right? But the fact that was the only first round pick that they had to give up, and Dylan Brooks just got 5 first round picks. Right? We got Porzingis for 1 and Trey Mann and George Niang and like 4 second round picks. Second round, that doesn't matter. Like 1 first round pick for Porzingis. And I mean, he's injury prone, but like, would you rather have, if I presented you 2 players, would you rather Porzingis or would you rather have Dylan Brooks?
That's easy.
Or not Dylan Brooks. I'm sorry. I'm keep saying Desmond Bane, not Des. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Yeah, I don't say like.
No. I was the wrong D.
Got it.
But they both played on Memphis.
Okay.
No, Desmond Bane, right? Like who think you're taking 7'2"?
Who take the unicorn?
Absolutely, every day. So that's one of their first round picks, right? The other one, they traded back, which I was just like, well, that's interesting. There's still some names on the board. They traded back 10 spots and picked up a first round pick next year and got the guy that they could have had at 13. And they still got him at 23.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, he was projected as a top 15 pick, right? And oh, by the way, he went to University of Georgia. You know who else went to University of Georgia? And they just setting up for Ant. But in all realness, they got the guy they wanted anyway, traded back 10 spots, plus picked up a first round next year. But it's not just that they picked up a first round next year. Bro, they got an unprotected pick from the Pelicans. So, who, by the way, have traded away Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Dyson Daniels. They've got DeJounte Murray and Jordan Poole and Zion. Like, bro.
So that's your G League team, isn't it?
No. But hold on. Listen. It's unprotected, and it's the better pick of either theirs or Milwaukee's. Now, and mind you, so first of all, it's very, very conceivable that the Pelicans will be high in the lottery. Very conceivable. In the West?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be a lottery team, right? So they're going to be collecting the ping pong balls. But it's also very conceivable that Milwaukee, right? No Dame next year, or for the majority of the year, at least, if he comes back at all, right? One Giannis injury away from and who knows, they could still trade him this offseason, right? So they trade him. Now you don't put any protections on that pick. Both teams could be bad. Like we could end up with the number 1 pick again. It'd be crazy.
It just might end up being a year where nobody's coming out.
Look, but we're not talking about that right now. What we're gonna say though is that those are some damn good moves.
They are
damn good moves.
Y'all been finessing the Pelicans.
So my winner and loser. My winner is the Hawks. My loser is the Pelicans.
That's.
And now, don't get me wrong. The Pelicans, they traded up to 13. They actually got who I wanted, which was Derek Queen. Like he was the guy really like from Maryland center. Like dude is tough. Talking about doing the dirty work in the paint. A little bit of a throwback in that way. So they did get a good player, but like, yeah, you can't make that trade and don't put protections. Like so many teams put protections on it and it pushes the pick out for like 5 years until it's unprotected. They just gave that shit up like it was candy.
Well,
so Hawks winners, Pelicans.
They've been giving up their season like it's candy, so it's all the same. It's all the same to them.
Well, look, we'll enjoy it. We'll get a top pick next year.
Correct, facts. My loser is the as always the Brooklyn Nets. How do you have 4 to 5 picks in the draft and not make any trades for any of them, and you just keep them all, and that's it?
The answer is you don't have any really good players.
So the answer is that you're the Brooklyn Nets. You don't plan for the future nor the present, and you don't learn from your past.
Maybe they were playing the odds game to where, okay, if we have 5 first-round picks, the likelihood if we hit on 2, right? Or even 1.
Not first round.
Right? But like the odds that we hit on 1, as long as we hit on 1, nobody will care that we had 5, right? But if you have 1 and you don't hit on it, so they're just playing, bro. All they're doing is playing simple statistics, bro.
Sure, they're trying to be pioneers in I guess in some way, and we'll see how that works out. So that's my loser, the Nets.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully y'all hit the comments. Let us know who your biggest losers were. So with that, let's go ahead and let's jump into a ultra special episode of Deep or Not That Deep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go in here and
you got to give me some props for this, right? Some sort of like maybe snorkeling goggles, or maybe I don't know, something. We get deep on.
Look, you know, we'll find some way to put it into the budget.
Let's do it. I appreciate
to buy some props for Deep or Not That Deep. Since last time you grilled me on football, so I'm gonna grill you on basketball.
All right, done.
Today. So we're gonna start with Deep or Not That Deep Trade Edition.
Okay.
First up, Drew Holiday to the Blazers, Anthony Simons to the Celtics.
Bruh.
Deep or Not That Deep?
This is deep, bro. Deep for the sense that you got rid of a guy that's he was on the Olympic team. You got rid of a guy who played more than your star player on the Olympic team, is a key piece on any team he goes on, is a welcomed piece on any team he goes on. He's like what I spoke about Caruso earlier. He's there until you don't realize he's there until he's there. He makes those key pivotal plays that change series, whether you're defensive end, offensive end. He's that guy, and he never gets the love that he deserves. So for me, I know what Celtics, they're just blowing it up now, basically to rebuild. However, man, come on, seriously, and you sent him to Portland to do what? To take a vacation? What is he gonna do there?
It's Utah.
What is theextended Utah? Is that what you're saying? Oh my God,
Utah 2.0.
Wow. I mean, Nike headquarters is out there, I guess, but I don't know.
I do not believe that he will still be on their roster.
I hope for Drew. I hope he's in a better place,
bro. He got traded to Portland as part of the Dame trade, and Portland sent him to the Celtics. So now the Celtics are like, yeah, we just gonna send him back. But they did pick up Simons. Simons is nice. Simons.
Sure. He's nice. He's nice.
He's nice, but he's also, I think, underrated in the sense that because he's been on Portland, not a lot of people have seen the casuals have not seen his game. And now being able to see that, especially with the other moves that we're going to talk about, the Celtics have made, like to open up that spot for him to showcase it in a different way, right? Especially Tatum going to be out for, again, much of the year, if not the whole year, because of his Achilles situation. So, you know, Simons has a chance to do it on a little bit of a bigger stage, a little bit of a bigger market. And so that part of it, I did like it. Yeah, I don't think Drew's going to be on the squad. So while we're talking about the Celtics, I was gonna hold this towards the end, but let's go ahead and just go there. The Celtics also got rid of, in their spree, Kristaps Porzingis.
This guy.
As we talked about earlier, to my Hawks. Let me not say how I feel. Let me see how you feel, right? Deep or not that deep?
Bro, that's deep.
Did y'all get that?
No, it's
wait.
It's deep for you guys.
Wait.
You guys.
Hold on. You're saying something positive about the Hawks?
I absolutely am.
Y'all got this? Y'all got this on record?
Receipts. These are the receipts. Bro, you guys went from here to here, right? You made a nice considerable jump. Now we want to see how he blends in with that squad. And honestly, I think you guys are going to make a run this year. I think you guys are really going to make a positive impact. I don't know if it's going to be the type of impact that we may, you guys might. I don't want you going into some delusion that you're going to really make a deep run. Let's slow that part down. See, I got to you got to reel it back a little bit. But you guys, for real, much respect to that, to whatever the moves you're making. For real, respect. So it's deep.
We will be replacing Indy in the playoffs.
Okay.
No.
Well, Tyrese is out.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
They're going to take a step back, right? We're going to take their spot.
Sure.
In that 3-4-ish range. 4, what were they? 5? 4, 5? Right?
They're 4.
Yeah. So right in there. Right in there.
Which will be great because I want to see Kristaps now go play against New York.
Yeah.
The team that drafted him. The storyline. Right? There's the F. Trae Young. I want to see that series now. That would be beautiful.
Oh, that's deep.
The storyline would be awesome on that.
That is deep. All right. Fresh off the press today, Lonzo Ball to the Cavs.
For who?
I didn't grab those details.
Okay. Well,
it wasn't anything super earth shattering.
So barring injury, I think it's a good pickup. I think it's a really good pickup barring injury. That's the only concern I have about it. I think it just made them a better team, right? I'm not gonna say it's significant, but the Kristaps thing. But it's a good pickup, a good backup to Garland. Come in and kind of second unit. That's how I see it.
Okay, I think it's deep. I think it gives the Cavs another dimension. Oh, it was for Okoro.
Okay.
Isaac Okoro. So, and I think it just gives them a different dimension to their guards because they don't have that tall passing point guard. Right, I think it's a great move. Big Mark Williams to the Suns. Talked last episode about the whole KD trade, right? So we're not gonna talk about it again. But Mark Williams, man, he's nice.
I'm gonna say they saved whatever dignity they were losing as the Suns. I mean, it's a good pickup, great pickup, right? Great pickup. It's deep for them, absolutely deep for them. Dude's massive. When I read he had a 9'9" wingspan, that's alien-like, bro. That's just insane. So I hope he comes in and helps that team at least make the playoffs. Hopefully, maybe we'll see.
Tough task in the West.
Yeah.
All right, we had a little bit, speaking of the Pelicans in the West, we had the Pelicans sending CJ McCollum to the Wizards for Jordan Poole, amongst other things that were thrown in the trade, but those were the headliners. How do you feel about this? Deep or not that deep?
You were saying something? Wizards, Pelicans? I mean, I fell asleep, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
So clearly not that deep. All right.
If you're having trouble sleeping at night, just go Wizards, Pelicans, and then those keywords will help you.
Well, the Wizards, I'll bring this up in a minute though, but they got a old squad coming up, but we'll talk about that. All right, deep or not that deep? Extension edition.
Deep sleep is what I'll say about that. That's the one.
Done. Deep or not that deep? Extension edition. Fred VanVleet signs 2-year, $50 million extension with the Houston Rockets. So FVV is there to stay for the KD trade.
I mean, where would you go now? I mean, KD's here. This is your legit chance to try to make a deeper run. VanVleet, KD, both champions, right? Let's help this guy go forward.
So deep.
I would say it's deep, yeah.
So on a side note to this, there's a little asterisk next to it. They've also got Steven Adams. They've also got Jeff Green. There's only two people left that they need to get, and both are possible.
Harden and
Russ. Russ has
already been there.
And so is Harden.
Harden's already been there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is possible. They could theoretically pull this off.
Wow.
And have a Thunder.
So
all we would need is Big Perk to come out of retirement from the ESPN camera and join them.
Get Ibaka?
He's cooking somewhere. He's
cooking. Okay. I mean, so basically, they were in OKC. We're just moving a couple, maybe 100 miles down.
Yeah.
Little bit. I don't know exact mileage, but around that, right? A couple hundred miles down and to the south, and trying to run it back old school. Okay.
Old school.
Okay.
Kyrie, 3 years, 119 mil.
Oh, I saw that. Good for you, Kyrie.
Got paid.
That's right.
Deep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are probably one of the favorites to move going for the next couple of years, right? To go move forward, and then you get to teach this kid, right? That's the kind of kid you want on your squad to teach, especially if you're showing the work ethic and the desire and the love to want to be there. Absolutely, I want to stay here. So yeah, for sure. AD, Coop, and Kyrie, bro. Clay. That's right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I thought that one was eye-opening until I saw this one. Nas Reed.
Yeah.
5-year, 121.
I mean,
$125 million.
Good for him.
Jersey represented.
Jersey. There we go. Good for him, man. Good for him. Though my only concern is, are you okay with being knocked out of the second round? Or the second,
Look,
maybe.
I'll take it because then we're going to get air. Let's go.
Wow.
All right. Deep or not that deep. Option edition. These are players who have picked up their options.
Okay.
Will they be deep or not that deep for their squad? John Collins, 1 year, $26.5 million. My old guy, John Collins, with the Utah Jazz.
With your favorite Jazz and the guy that got posterized by Ant.
That was bad.
All I'm gonna say is, good for you to get paid, John Collins. $25 million a year. Wow.
Well, I mean, he's just exercising his player option.
Sure.
Okay.
Good for deep.
Deep? Wow.
I mean, it's good.
Andre Drummond with Philly, 1 year, $5 million.
I didn't even know he was still playing, bro.
I knew that was the reaction I was gonna get. I got it.
I thought he was out of the league.
No. 1 year, $5 million.
Okay.
It's an easy, cool $5 million.
Yeah, it's cool. Right. Good for him. And this is a guy that was like 100 mil type player
back in the day.
But he talked about it. He's on I saw a clip or whatever, and he talked about it, how because he was telling the youth, he's like, I had a bad attitude. I had a terrible attitude about everything, and that hurt me. It cost me, and I was $100 million player who's now just suffering from that bad behavior, bad attitude, not caring. So that's why I said I didn't know he's still in the league. So good for him. Is what I'll say.
Pick up a cool $5 million.
Yeah.
And last one, Chris Middleton, 1 year, $33.3 million with Washington.
I mean, listen, Washington's where you come to get the paycheck, right? Or and then you dip out. Because the organization ain't trying to win. I mean, listen, bro. I'm just trying to keep it real, man.
This was the one team to not throw smoke at it. It's be the local one.
This is the team to throw smoke at. You're so disappointed at the history of this team.
So they got Chris Middleton, CJ McCollum, Marcus Smart, like a bunch of older vets on that team.
Right.
So we'll see how things shake out in the Capitol this year.
Sure.
And then one bonus.
Okay.
That is none of the above. Deep or not that deep. Masai
Ujiri.
Masai Ujiri. I can't even read my own writing. My own typing. Is out as the VP in Toronto.
So I just saw this. I don't know the details of it, all the inner workings. Similar to how some of the other, when Mike Malone left and what the inner details were. And I'm going to say it's a big, it's big, it's deep. But this dude helped put together the first chip that organization got, right? He was a cornerstone piece of that whole thing. And he was, applauded for it and all of that. So what happened all of a sudden and now just poof, right? You're out. Because he didn't make a critical mistake like Nico did, or as critical a mistake as Nico did. He's clearly not on that prescription plan that, the Giants GM is on. So what is it that happened that was, boom, He's out.
That is where you have made a fatal mistake, my friend.
Okay, tell us.
Because it is not what just happened all of a sudden. It is the fact that it has been 6 years since said championship. We live in a what have you done for me lately society. And let's be real. Once Kawhi left, which was really the big move, right? Once Kawhi left, that team has been what?
Valid point.
And now they're down in not only are they in the gutter, they're in the East gutter. You know how bad you got to be in the East gutter? Because at least the West gutter, like, you've got the gauntlet. To be in the East gutter, like, that's the gutter Detroit just escaped. Right? No, I'm serious. They did. They just escaped it. And then Toronto just like, yeah, we got you. We'll keep
hold the spot for you.
We're gonna keep this spot warm until Cade Cunningham leaves,
wow.
right? Like they've been trash. Like let's be real. Let's be real. And I've said this, and I don't care what smoke I get. Scottie Barnes is not a superstar. He's not.
I didn't even know he was in the running or being considered a superstar.
I mean, he had that little bit of hype, right? And then it kind of died down.
Okay.
Remember they were in the All-Star game. They were Pat. Yeah, that Scottie Barnes hype was real. Like he's a really good player. He's a good third option. Wow. He's not the guy. He's not a franchise guy. So again, you got to deliver a franchise guy, and you delivered Kawhi for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, you built a good team, right? You had some gems. Van Vliet, right? You've Siakam, but even then, like even getting rid of them, kind of like, I mean, the Van Vliet one was different, but the Siakam one, like, I mean, that like you could have at least made Siakam your guy.
Could have.
As he's clearly shown he's not washed, but you want to build around Scottie Barnes. Well, this is what you get. But again, like, so for me, we're being funny, but like in all reality, like, no, the results are the results, and you can't live off of one championship that you won 6 years ago that quite frankly was a very rare type of championship.
So I guess
it's not normal that you have a team that's kind of just right there in the mix, and then all of a sudden they add a guy for 1 year, win a chip, and he leaves. Like that's not something that's an anomaly. So it's an anomaly chip on top of that. I like that, an anomaly chip.
Yeah,
right.
That's the true asterisk chip.
Right. So like you gotta like it's not the Boston, right? Boston finally won, but that was so many times they were right there at the top, and they got a guy. They got two guys, right? Who does Toronto have? They don't. Like he gotta go. Sorry, he gotta go.
I mean, that's the case, and I'm not up to date on my GM tenures right now throughout the league, but I'm assuming a lot of GMs got to go in that case who haven't won in many, many, many years.
Well,
forever.
So some of that also depends on temperaments of owners, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not surprised by it, and it's not deep to me because they're in the gutter of the East. So yeah, somebody got to be responsible for that. And guess who it's not going to be? I can guarantee you one person in the entire fucking organization.
The owner.
The fucking owner who
pays the bills,
checkbook, and pays the bills.
That's right.
So anybody beyond that, everybody can get the smoke.
Correct.
So I'm not surprised.
So look,
and to me, it's not that deep. In fact, it might actually be deep.
How deep they're in the gutter?
Wait. They are deep in the gutter. Let me take this back. It's be a real throwback for you. I don't think we've said it on this one. It's not that deep, but it may become deep.
Oh, I like that.
And it may become deep.
I like that.
Because whoever they hire might pull them out of the gutter.
We'll find out.
So yeah, not that deep right now.
Hey, look, we got a little Washington shade. We got a little Toronto shade. What's next? Oh, you got Utah shade today. You got a little Portland shade. Two on each side.
We're gonna have all the shade by the time it's done. Okay, last real quick. I know we actually didn't talk about this, but I'm gonna throw it in here real quick. The RBA Aura. And that's the player moment, whatever, something we usually pick that, personifies real ballers adjust, right? The idea of overcoming, facing some adversity, just grinding something out, whatever it may be, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, and I think that you'll co-sign this with me, and gotta give it to Tyrese, bro. Like Tyrese Halliburton, for the fact that he gutted that game and to even play in Game 7, right? Like he knew he had a calf issue, right? We saw it, right? People were advising him. Did you see KD? right? In the Toronto series, KD knew that his calf was compromised, still went out and played, boom, right? He knew that risk was there. And he could have very easily said, you know what? I got to make a business decision. I don't want to be out all next year. Let me rest the calf, get treatment, et cetera, and we're going to make a run at this next year, right? There are players that would have done that. I see you smirking, but there are players. Let's be real. There are players that would do that.
I'm listening.
But what I loved was that he was like, you know what? I know the risk. I know that I could potentially sacrifice a whole season. But Game 7 NBA Finals is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if I don't give it my all, I won't be able to live, like, not be able to live. You'll be able to live the rest of your life. But like, I think he said, I heard him say, or there was a comment or something like he would always question himself, like what could have been or what may have been. And that's why he decided to play. For me, that's an RBA thing, because that's for a lot of people, that's going to be a tough decision, right? Knowing that there's a significant risk that you put, your health in jeopardy.
So I like that you took, you just decided to go ahead and go with that. I'm not going to co-sign it fully. I'm going to partially co-sign it because I gave Tyrese his flowers earlier in the episode when we opened.
That's because we didn't talk about who was going to be the RBA aura, and you preempted me by throwing that out there, and I was like, damn, I don't want to give him his flowers twice, but like I want to talk about an RBA aura.
So I gave him his flowers earlier because that moment, I think for any NBA hooper, if you truly love the game, you're truly passionate about it, and you're that guy on your team, that's an easy decision.
But that's not
Game 7. I don't know if I'll ever be here. We always talk about the two best words in sports. That Game 7 is not guaranteed for anyone. You may finish the series at 5, 6, whatever, but 7, that's easy. I'm out there. I don't care what the risks are, because I don't know if I'll ever be in this moment ever in my life again. And this is a moment I can't risk losing. So the hell with whatever I don't care what the report said. Doctor, shut your mouth, right? Because you're not going to be able to go out on the floor and suit up the way I am. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the best I can to my ability, given whatever the situation, circumstances are, fully knowing the risk of why I'm out here. But that's RBA for sure.
But that's what you're saying, though, is it's an easy decision for most, but not everybody loves it, bro. Some people, it's just a job for them. Some people do not love it. Some people don't have
but the guys who are him on their team, I'm assuming every guy who's him on their team has to love it to be a him on your team, because you're the best of that 15 group. Or I don't think he's the best in his group, but he's a top 3 in his group. So for that reason, I think that was an easy decision for him, even for anyone who's truly like just the moment itself. So I didn't realize that the glazingness was still gonna keep going. The Tyrese glaze, we still being glazies.
No, I'm not. There's no glaze, bro.
But
all
it's
I'm saying
dude,
is there are players that would not have done that, bro.
I think if you're him on your team, you absolutely would.
There are some hims that would not have played that game.
Who?
I'm not calling nobody up. I'm saying I don't have it to be specific, but I know that there are some that don't, because I know I've heard them people talk about it on other sports podcasts. I've heard your boy Gil talk about how not everybody loves it, and even guys that are superstars that they're not in it for always the love of the game or this or that. They have lots of different reasons.
Yeah, but those guys ain't even making it to the finals because the guys who are getting to Game 7s are truly loving those games.
Well, Game 7s are very rare in the first place, but I'm just saying, but still,
because it's so rare, I want to be part of this.
It's not as easy as a decision as you say.
I know what can you guys please go in the comments and let us know what the situation, like, this is an easy decision, bro.
I mean, it's an easy decision for us. Yes, we know we would do that. I'm saying it's not as easy as you are saying for everybody, because not everybody is built like that. The same reason on one of the most recent episodes you were talking about how NBA players don't want to smoke or play in one-on-one.
Correct.
It's the same fucking thing.
No, Game 7 and one-on-one? What are we doing here?
Oh my God.
My guy's like apples and vegetables. We're doing fruits and vegetables comparisons right now.
It's the same thing. Some guys don't even want to smoke in the pressure of Game 7.
Stop it. Correct. And the ones that do will absolutely play in that game.
I agree. And then the ones that won't. And they're gonna be on the injury report.
And those guys are not the guys on their team. And I'm sorry, if you are not willing to step on the floor in a Game 7 situation and you have the opportunity to, take off your jersey and give that spot to somebody who truly loves and deserves it. Because I can't respect you as a hooper or even as a.
I agree with you.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I agree with you. I'm just saying that you are making it sound like everybody would do it, and that's not true.
I'm not saying. I'm saying everyone who's him on their team would do it.
That's not true either.
Bro.
But most of the hymns would, yes. But there are some that would not, and there are some other key players that maybe not him, but might be a pivotal part of that team that also wouldn't, and would still make business decisions. So for me, the fact is, like, and you were limping around game 5. No, I'm sorry, game 5. No, 6. Game 6. You were limping around game 6, did enough to contribute. That was, like, he toughed that shit out too. And then say, you know what, bump, if I gotta be out all next season, I gotta be out next season. I'm here for it. And I'm gonna have to grind through that rehab. Like that, like so many players talk about how grueling that rehab process is.
It is.
And that was it wasn't like a small risk that this was gonna happen. Like, there's a serious risk that this is going to happen. And we watched it happen just a couple years ago when it happened with KD and the Warriors. He had a calf strain, boom. And then, oh, by the way, we saw it with Tatum. We saw it with Dame. So I agree with you on the part of, like, yes, it should be an easy decision. Let's just agree that it should be an easy decision, right?
It's the only decision, bro.
It should be the only decision. Like, okay, so do you got another RBA aura then?
I absolutely do.
Okay, let's go with that.
No, that's yours, and we'll do mine.
That's fine.
This will be the first, split RBA aura, because for me, it's Shea, right? Shea, the dude. This was guy on the Clippers. No one believed in it. No one thought of anything, and he got traded to this obscure team because KD and all them left, and now he's getting thrown into this mix of this team that's at the bottom. And that team didn't say, oh, I'm going to bring a whole lot of stars on board and we're going to make a run with our stars. No, they built from the ground up organically and made something out of nothing, right? And they brought on key pieces, and this dude developed his game, and just kind of grew it, and quietly started making noise. Like, quietly made noise, because no one thinks about OKC like that. Similar to Pacers, we're not watching Pacers games. We're not really watching OKC games, at least on the East Coast, we're not. So, dude came up, and just his story, right? Foreign player, not even low, he's foreign, comes in and MVP. He was in the MVP running last year too, I believe. MVP of the league, MVP Western Conference. And this was his year. And the way, one of only 4 or 5 players to ever win all those awards in a single season? He's in rare company with MJ and those guys. So MJ, I think, did it 4 times, and Shea's the next guy to do it. So you gotta respect what he's accomplished. That's to even overlook that is, in the words of my guy here, or those SAT words we sometimes use, is I'm flabbergasted. Like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Yes, respect to Tyrese for what he did. That's why I gave him his flowers early. But the bouquet goes to SGA, because at the end of the day, history doesn't remember second place. They remember first place. They remember the winners, right? Show me the champion each year. Oh, OKC won. No one's going to say, oh, what was the storyline behind all? No one cares. That's why KD, right? What he did, because he knows that 30 years from now, my youngest son is not going to care what the storyline was when KD left and joined the team that beat him. But he knows that. History doesn't care about all that. So the fact that Shea's in rare company with the GOAT, but my GOAT, that dude right there, MJ, is in itself the ultimate RBA. And there's not even a close second there. And with that, we should close the episode.
We especially after all that extra glazing that happened. We will close out the episode. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next week, we see you. Peace.
Yeah,
you got to bring out the Riz.
Wow, you're asking for a bit much there, but sure.
Look at here, we're gonna have a discussion about the NBA.
Take 3.
Finals.